This is one of my favorite setups that can easily give you 3-to-1 risk reward, sometimes 4, 5, and even 6-to-1. This is something that if you have a small account, you definitely want to take advantage of. And if you don't have a small account and you're just looking for another strategy, you got to watch this because I'm going to show you in detail a trade that I took, the big picture, why I was looking at it to begin with, where my signs were to get in, and why I had confidence in the trade. And I'm going to show you my executions as well. And you'll see that I actually made some mistakes today, but you can still do well. So let's get into it. The stock I'm referring to is AMTD. Now this stock, you can see that we went from $1.30 all the way up to $12, $13. It's obscene, right? Well, it's not. If you've been trading in small caps or any type of stocks for at least a year or two, you've seen this over and over again. We see multiple runners constantly. But when I noticed that there's a stock that's running over 100%, this is going well over 100%. When that happens, I am very interested. So that's the first thing, right? The first thing is I need it to be overextended. So it's very easy on the eye. You should be able to notice that right away. You'll notice that right away because look, it just stands out on the chart. Not only that, but we have overhead resistance. Look at this chart if we go in the weekly. This is an ugly chart. No one would want to invest in this. And you'll see there's resistance all over here. And come to find out, look at this resistance support zone. Look where it stops out at. I can't make this up. Support and resistance does work. It works for me every single day. I want to take this time to say thank you to our sponsor, Cobra Trading. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best locate prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. If we go ahead and go back to the daily, I also want to draw out where it broke out from because we did break out above this level, this 770 zone. So right now what I want to do is just draw out all of the key lines, key support and resistance levels because I want to know what the chart is telling me. Where are the bulls? Where are the shorts? So that way I can position myself accordingly and hopefully take advantage of a move. So as you look here, when we zoom in now, we'll go to the 4 hour. There's not much to adjust. Then I'll go to the see here 1 hour. And then I'll go into the 30 minute. And what I'm looking for is indications that I need to draw new levels that are important. If I see those, I will start to draw. And you can start to see one in the 15 minute. You'll see that we have somewhat of a trend forming. And I'm gonna draw that here because that's when I noticed it on the 15 minute. I noticed this trend forming because this is a powerful stock. I need some type of indicator that's going to show me it's going to be on the back side. And that's what this trend line is for. So I see this trend and I start to zoom in. And what I'm looking for is where can I get in and where can I risk at? If I look at this chart, we go ahead and zoom in here because the day's already happened. This could either be a short or a long. However, I know I'm more so leaning short. But if I'm honest with you, all of you, I actually went long first because I got a little overzealous and thought it could squeeze. And I took a loss. Immediately took a loss on it. And that's just part of trading. But then I went short. And I didn't even catch this move like I should have. And it still did very well. So I just want you to see this. First off, the reason I went long, let me highlight this color and make it more of a strong line. Let's make it blue. This blue line is the breakout line. If we zoom out, remember when we zoom out, you see this line? Now I know there's overhead resistance. But when I have a trend line forming, because this is also one of my favorite kind of setups, when I see a trend line forming along with a key area of support, I may want to take a stab at it. Not big, but I may want to take a stab. And that's what I ended up doing. Whenever we zoom in here, you'll see that the stock at the open came down and held this area. When a stock comes down and holds an area, especially if it's an area of interest for me, I got to take the trade and I just got to risk accordingly. So let me show you where I risked. I ended up risking right below this level. So right here, I ended up risking right below this level. So I was willing to take a loss anywhere in this gray box. When we go ahead and go a little further into the day, at first, when I got in here, I got a good sign that we're holding. So I got in half size, and then you'll see that I ended up taking a loss. If we just zoom it, go a little further, we ended up taking a quick loss. It stopped me out by literally a penny. And I know you guys are probably like, that happens to me too. I hate when that happens. Or let me tell you, I don't enjoy it. I literally do not enjoy it. And what I did next, I wasn't happy with. I wasn't revengeful, which a lot of people do switch to. Instead, because it wicked me out, I thought, I give it another shot. And when I gave it another shot, I took another loss equaling to a full-size loss. And it happens. That's just part of trading. And I can't do anything about that. I made my mistake. It's just part of trading. And you'll see that right here. If I minimize this, you'll see if I zoom in, I actually got long some more, took it off, got long again, took it off. So it happens to all of us. And you kind of already see what happens later, but stay with me because I want you to see the entire chart and I want to explain it in detail because this is when the trade gets very exciting. And I even missed the big move and I still did well. So once the stock breaks this level, I'm looking for a bounce. And so I sit there and wait and I want to risk around the $9 range. So I want this to bounce nice. I want it to bounce to like $8, $8.30, $8.50. That would be ideal. When you zoom out, this stock has tons of room to come down. It has support at the $2.50, $3 area. So it still has a ton of room to fall. And it already broke under a key support, which is now resistance. So I feel confident. I want to get in this. And I'm a little emotional. I don't want to chase. And so I wait. But that emotion still crept up on me. And here's what happened. When we start to get this bounce here, you can see as I click through, this part right here, I got a little emotional. And I'm going to zoom into the 1 minute so you can see it more clearly. We're already under the key level. But what I ended up seeing is this. And this line is not the best line. And a couple of reasons. Number one, if I go on the 5 minute, it looks kind of forced, in my opinion. It doesn't look that clean. And I know you're probably like, well, what does that mean? The only thing I can say is when I'm looking for a trend line, I want it to be so obvious that everyone sees it. Because if everyone sees it, then that means there's a good opportunity that it can work. And this is the line I drew. Sure, I can see it. Absolutely. We can see it. But at the same time, if you take this short, I need to be risking like this area or this level. And here's what I thought. I thought if this is going to break this line, I need to see it rejecting before I hit it with full size. And I'm going to risk really tight because I don't want to take another loss. I just don't. And I want to make sure I can minimize my loss because I know if this really does spike to this 830 level, I want to get in. And there I'll be willing to risk a full loss. Now, if you're questioning, like, what is a full loss? Everyone has their own metrics. Don't worry about mine. Just know 1R is one full loss. Whatever you're willing to risk is 1R. So I'm willing to risk 1R on this trade, again, even though I already lost 1R, because if it sets up properly, I know the opportunity could be 3R. So that means I can make up for that loss, right? And even if I do lose, it's 2R total loss. And if I do win on the next one, 3R covers all of that. So when I get in this trade and I immediately start to get out and get wishy-washy, I take another loss. And the reason I do that is because I don't like that we're recovering this trend line very quickly without really pulling back with all of these signs that it's looking weak. We're still pushing up. But something happens. Because I'm minimizing my risk, because I'm taking my losses, the real trend line forms. It looks much better. And it's right here. This trend line, you cannot question. Look how pretty this trend line is. When I go to the 1 minute, I don't even have to adjust it. It is gorgeous. I took the trade once again when we broke this level because I'm thinking at first I will risk a little wide, $7.40, but I think this can go down to $4 or $5. And so because of that, I'm going to take the trade because there's plenty of reward. However, when I got the sign here, when it starts to reject a couple of times after reclaiming, I went ahead and hit it with more size. risking tighter, and I almost got stopped out. I started to risk this previous level of 17, 18. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to be able to really take advantage of this opportunity and make a good play. And it ended up working out. As you can see, we faded, and I covered everything all right here in the 70s and 60s because it's a key area of support. And ideally, I wanted this level, but I wasn't patient enough. And that's something I'm constantly working on. And if I would have stuck with this trade throughout the day, this could have easily been a 4 or 5 hour trade. However, I took it off really quickly. I was just not in the right mindset. I've been traveling a lot. First day back in the office, I could tell I was just wishy-washy. And so I just cut it off for a gain of the day, making up the loss. And it wasn't even much. It was like 0.65 R on the day. So not even 1 R today. But I'm okay with that because the process protected me. The process saved me today and not making a big loss. And it helped me stay focused. And I also need to let you guys know, you got to be aware of where your head game is. Because if your head game isn't right, then you're not going to trade it properly. And when that happens, you'll see it yourself that you will not trade properly. And here's the trade itself. As you can see here, I'll do it in the 5 minute. Ended up working out. It is bouncing back now. But I want you guys to know, like, we all make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up and make a mistake. If you enjoy this content, please share it with another friend and trader. And again, God bless. And don't forget, check out the Discord of our channel. It's free. It's just a like-minded trader lounge to meet other like-minded traders. Take care.